Hi everybody, I am going to talk about the role of social workers in working with families and the intervention skills needed. Family is one of the oldest institutions that has helped the humankind to survive all these centuries. It is united by the ties of marriage, where the members interact and communicate with each other in their respective roles of husband and wife, mother and father, son and daughters, and so on. It provides an environment of love, sense of belonging, and security to its members, which guarantees them marital peace, fulfillment, and growth. But today, the scenario is fast changing, and the family, a very precious unit of the society, is being threatened by many factors. In the current social scenario, marital relationship is under increasing strain and becoming complex and demanding. There are growing instances of divorce, marital discord, demand for dowry, bride burning, violation of women's dignity, gender inequality, neglect of intergenerational care, and so on. It is relevant to understand the role of social case workers in working with families in the current scenario. At the end of this talk, you will understand the role of social workers working with families, know the various types of interventions applicable for working with families, and learn the specific skills required for casework practice. Let me first describe the changing scenario in families. Family, being an ancient institution, has helped the sustenance of mankind in all their hardships. Family provides a nurturing environment of love, belongingness, and security, which guarantees them harmonious living, peace, fulfillment, and growth. However, it does not mean that there would be no differences or provocations or quarrels on minor matters among the members of the family. Such quarrels have always existed between siblings, between parents and children, or husband and wife. But today, the scenario is fast changing, and the family, a very precious unit of the society, is being threatened by many extraneous factors. The marital relationship is under increasing strain. It is becoming complex and demanding. Present day women are more educated, more economically independent, and they contribute substantially to the workplace and family. Yet, they are more vulnerable to violence today than before due to various factors, particularly when violence is perpetrated by her own family members, where the safety and security of her nuptial home is taken away by those whom she trusted. In fact, violence against women is a global epidemic that kills, brutalizes, and harms women physically, psychologically, sexually, and economically. It is one of the most persistent forms of human rights violation that deny women equality, security, dignity, self-worth, and freedom. Let me tell you about the family social work. It is in this context that the practice of family social work becomes relevant. Family social work aims at working with the individuals of the family who are in a strained relationship and stressful situation. Social case workers help families improve relationships and cope with difficult situations such as divorce, illness, or death. They guide families through the counseling process by helping them identify problems, set goals, and find solutions to their troubles. In a crisis situation such as neglect, substance abuse or violence. They may also recommend legal action such as having children temporarily removed while the parents work through their difficulties. The social caseworker engaged in working with families is often involved in multitasking, taking appropriate role according to the need and issue at hand. Let me outline the different roles which caseworkers take up while working with families. First, the role of a facilitator. Social caseworkers initiate their role by simply facilitating and encouraging family members to communicate. Sometimes, families have barely spoken to each other for months by the time they sought professional help. The social worker acts as a neutral third party, helping family members share their fears, concerns, or disappointments in a non-confrontational way. Probes are designed to help families to discover the underlying causes of their problems. For example, if a child is misbehaving, it may not be because he disrespects his parents, but rather because he is troubled by the stress caused in his parents' marriage. A social worker would help him articulate and vent these thoughts so the entire family could discuss and understand the child. The role of an advisor and guide. Social workers suggest immediate solutions, even if short term, to help families work through problems or diffuse potentially volatile situations. A social caseworker will often attempt to stabilize a family unit, including addressing individual members' issues for interventions to be more effective. For example, if one family member has a serious drug or alcohol problem, a social worker may recommend that the person should enter a treatment facility before continuing with the therapy. Or if one of the family members has some mental illness such as depression or bipolar disorder, the social caseworker may advise him to visit a psychiatrist who can prescribe medications to help him manage his condition. The role of a mentor. Social caseworkers take up the role of a mentor and enable the ventilation of accumulated feelings that members have. Bottling up of feelings often results in undesirable consequences, and hence channelizing them is one way to handle feelings and thoughts for behavior to be rational and appropriate. They also provide guidance and support for the members of the family. Role of an advocate. Social caseworkers act as advocates and work on taking up the cause of their clients. They represent on their behalf in certain fora and advocate for the benefit and well-being of the unit. During therapeutic session, they also take up advocacy roles for a particular member to represent his or her viewpoint that may play a crucial role in the dynamics of the therapeutic intervention. Role of a catalyst. Social workers often act as catalysts in bringing about change in the family unit. The arguments placed, clarifications sought, communications held, and the therapies conducted all bring about dynamic change process in the minds of the members. Role of a counselor. The social caseworker also takes up the role of a counselor. The goal of family counseling is to help families create a home atmosphere where family members can communicate with and support each other through times of conflict. A conflict can have many causes, including poor relationships, substance abuse, behavioral problems, or financial or work concerns. Conflicts can arise between parents and their children. They can also occur in the marriage. The social worker counsels the members and thereby enhances their family relationship. A social worker trained in working with families has a special skill set. The goal of the social worker is to be an objective guide for family members to help them understand their relationships and roles in the family. The family dynamics, or how family members relate to each other, will be carefully reviewed. There is also a focus on communication patterns and behavior patterns among family members. The social caseworker will work with the family to establish healthy patterns of communication, appropriate ways to express frustration and anger, and boundary setting. Let me describe the intervention strategies. Intervention is a strategy adopted by social case workers to involve with individuals, families, and groups to enable them meet their needs and issues. The main purpose of interventions are to aid clients in alleviating problems and improve their well-being. In working with families, the intervention strategies adopted by the social worker often depends on the nature of problem and its dynamic impact on the individuals or the family. There are some common problems found among the Indian families. For example, wife battering, dowry, bride burning, violent behavior of either spouse, egoistic behavior or inferiority complex, addictions and related behavior, abuse in all forms, sexual, verbal, physical, emotional or psychological, needless interference from the in-laws, provocations and hurting each other by taunts, sarcasms and abuses, indiscriminate and insensitive attitude and behavior towards spouses, extramarital relations by either spouse or promiscuity, and doubting the integrity or character of spouse by either of the spouse. There are some redressal mechanisms related to these problems. The family courts. Family courts are a specialized type of courts entrusted with the disposal of cases concerning disputes relating to the family. In brief, these courts deal with the litigation concerning marriage and divorce and maintenance, guardianship and the property of spouses. They are established under the Family Courts Act 1984. The object of family courts, as stated by the legislature, is to promote conciliation and secure speedy settlement of disputes relating to marriage and family affairs. The family counseling centers. The idea of family counseling was conceptualized by the Central Social Welfare Board in 1980s when there was a spate of dowry deaths. The board spearheaded the campaign by setting up Voluntary Action Bureau, which subsequently took the shape of family counseling centers. The objective of the family counseling centers is to provide preventive and rehabilitative services to women and families who are victims of atrocities and family maladjustments through crisis intervention and systematic counseling. Family counseling centers are being run in some police headquarters premises under the administrative control of the State Social Welfare Board. These family counseling centers were established with the objective of providing speedy crisis intervention to those women whose cases were registered in police stations. Family counseling centers in Mahila jails. 23 family counseling centers have been set up in Mahila jails in Bihar, Chandigarh, Delhi, Gujarat, Karnataka, Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh, Orissa, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, and West Bengal. Premarital counseling centers. This new initiative is being implemented in women development centers at various colleges in Delhi. They lay special emphasis on premarital counseling and deal with other areas of psychosocial crisis management for young women. Counseling centers for Devadasi or red light areas. At present, there are 2 family counseling centers working for the welfare of Devadasi and sex workers and their children, one each in Mumbai, Maharashtra, and Belgaum in Karnataka. The centers are set up with the objective of providing preventive services through awareness campaigns on sexually transmitted diseases, HIV and AIDS, and other health and legal matters, and also rehabilitative measures for children of female sex workers. The social workers involved in working with the families engage themselves in adopting interventions such as emotion-focused intervention for couples, strategic intervention, intensive family preservation approaches, solution-focused brief intervention, psychotherapeutic approaches, family psychoeducation, and family stabilization. Let me outline the types of family intervention strategies. Emotion-focused intervention. This intervention is basically aimed at enabling the members to let out their emotions and channelize them appropriately. The social worker aims at skillfully handling the emotions and revealing the true meaning hidden in it. They are also enabled to excavate and make other members to understand the underlying need, purpose, and impact of such emotional outpours. This helps family members take stock and revive relations and look forward to new ways of mending relationships and leading peaceful lives. Strategic intervention. This is an approach which involves meticulous study, analysis, assessment, and planning for the interventions to be undertaken by the social caseworkers in working with families. It is a systematic approach and involves meticulous preparation and scheduling according to the nature of the problem and the need. Intensive family preservation approach. This intervention aims at ensuring the intact preservation of relationships of the members of the family. The factions and divisions that have erupted among the members of the family are identified, barriers are highlighted, misunderstandings and misinterpretations are clarified, and relationships are strengthened. The social caseworker aims at rejuvenating and preserving the family ties and bonds between the members. Solution-focused brief intervention. This intervention is used to bring about solutions to the existing problems in the family. It is very brief, focused, and aims at alleviating the situation and provides best possible remedies or solutions to the issue at hand. The social caseworker needs to work rapidly and cleverly. Psychotherapeutic interventions. These interventions are used in situations where the members of the family or individuals may need deep psychological help. It is a clinical therapeutic process of working with individuals to enable the healing from within. It often extends over a period of time. Family psychoeducation. This intervention involves briefing and educating family members about the situation or condition of a member of the family for supportive well-being of the individual and the family. Social caseworkers employ some basic skills in any helping process. Let me discuss these skills. Listening, interviewing, communicating, motivating, problem solving, empathizing, conflict resolution, decision making, collateral contacting, and networking. Apart from these basic skills, social caseworkers working with families need some more skills for effective intervention. Let me outline these skills. First, attending skills. It is the act of truly focusing on the individual who comes for help. Conscious efforts are taken to be aware of what the client is saying or trying to communicate. Next, confronting skills. It refers to the attempt to make a respectful invitation to the client to consider discrepancies. This is to help the client become more integrated and consistent in his or her behavior and in his or her relationship with others. Next is information sharing skill. The social caseworker provides a client with the knowledge and information that are pertinent to his or her problem. This is to make the client well informed about the facts he or she needs to cope with the problem effectively. The information should be factual, clear, and comprehensive. The next, skills interpreting nonverbal clues. The social caseworker, through this skill, is trying to understand the meaning of client's nonverbal clues to his or her underlying feelings and motives. It helps the caseworker with additional information about the client's thoughts and feelings and to project warmth and sensitivity towards a person. The caseworker can watch for inconsistencies during this process. Next, empathetic listening skills. The basic listening skills include observation, the use of open and closed questions, the use of encouraging, paraphrasing, and summarization and reflection of client's feelings. It includes the process of tuning in carefully to the client's message and responding accurately to the meaning behind the message. It involves entering the inner world of the client. The social caseworker conveys understanding, concern, and empathy and avoids misinterpretation or misjudgment. Let me sum up. For the past few decades, sweeping changes in male-female relations, sex norms, birth rates, and divorce rates have been occurring at an accelerating rate among all segments of the society. People today become sexually active early, marry late, have fewer children, and divorce more frequently than in the past. Non-traditional alternatives to marriage, such as live-in relations, single mother, or one-parent families by choice, have emerged along with a variety of other experimental arrangements. It is clear that the present trend is alarming, where traditional family norms have become blurred and new guidelines for courtship and marriage have not yet been clarified. In this time of ambivalence and flux, social caseworker faces the formidable challenge of ensuring that in his practice he will be relevant and effective in helping troubled families cope with the old and new dilemmas inherent in family life today. Social caseworkers help families with the strained relations, marital discord, and provide the warring factions of the family with a platform to discuss their problems and find solutions. Social caseworkers play the role of a facilitator, guide or advisor, mentor, advocate, counselor, and catalyst in the process of problem solving. There are some common problems found among the Indian families as well as some socio-legal mechanisms to address these problems. The social workers involved in working with the families engage themselves in adopting interventions such as emotion-focused intervention for couples, strategic intervention, intensive family preservation approaches, solution-focused brief intervention, psychotherapeutic approaches, family psychoeducation, and family stabilization. Social caseworkers employ the basic skills such as listening, interviewing, communicating, motivating, problem solving, empathizing, conflict resolution, decision making, collateral contacting, and networking in their interventions. Let me sign off now and hope to see you in another session. Thank you.